Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel here. It's the Mac, and welcome back to the Great Northern War, Wargame Design Studio, the latest release of the Musket and Pike series. And so I've did quite a long introductory video covering the the information or introduction to the game, basically showing all the what's new and what it is all about, and talked a bit about history and stuff like that. Basically, showcase. So what I usually do is do a sort of a let's play as well. Do get a battle here. And now I've already got actually a few battles going now. People were playing play by email there on different wargaming clubs. So I don't want to actually play a battle that I might actually play against somebody later on. That would be cheating. I haven't actually gotten anything going in the Russian campaign, and so that would be fun to see how that, because that was the beginning of the end, basically, for Charles the 12th there, as he was duking it out versus the Russians there. There was a lot of shit that went sideways in that campaign. So I thought about this scenario here, the Holowczyn. 17 turns, it feels doable, and there's a historical version and there is a what if. But I'll do the historical one because I want to try and recreate what the Swedish actually did in that particular battle. So it's July 4th, 1708. It's a large battle. It's Holowczyn, Russia. So the briefing is during Charles the 12th march on Moscow, the Swedish army reached the rain-flooded river Vabich. On the other side of the river, the road ahead was blocked by a larger entrenched Russian force. Careful reconnaissance identified a swampy area which is effectively separated the Russian lines. The Russians had clearly believed this area to be impassable and made no real effort to defend it. Charles XII identified a route through this swampy area which would allow Swedish forces to bypass the Russian defenses and attack their weaker flank and rear. Charles XII deployed other Swedish units as part of a deception plan to tie the Russians down. Then brought artillery forward very early in the morning, which began to bombard the Russians as the Swedes advanced through the swamp. So recommended rules are defaults, and the Sweden should be human Northern Alliance AI or a head-to-head. Sounds interesting, man. So this is one of the first engagement there versus Peter the Great there, and and I read somewhere it was actually one of Charles XII's most favorite battles, as it was sort of in his line of, what he, the kind of a commander he was. He loved to outsmart his opponents and come up with clever plans to sort of, win the day, so to speak. And this is a very typical battle for him to play out. So it'll be fun to try it out. All right, so it's going to be all right. We're going to be manual there. We're going to have automatic with fog of war for the Northern Alliance. Now, I think about rules. So these are the default rules. And default in the Northern War, Great Northern War, is that manual defensive fire is not ticked in. I actually prefer this up to play. I think I've said that in previous videos. I actually prefer the phased combat in this era of warfare, because it just gets you more into it. But it's also very time consuming, and I will not play with it on when I'm doing a let's play, because it will be a very long let's play. Just having it ticked off is more a fluent and faster battle, basically. Well, we will be having a movement and fire phase, and then the melee phase will be separate. I do like that setup. I think they've done a great job of that. So sort of that you have movement and fire, And immediately after that, you do have a melee phase. So sort of, if you decide to charge your forces into the fray, so to speak. So I do like it, and I think it's a good compromise from the phased play, basically. All right, what else they got? They got victory points of leader casualties. Well, that is just straightforward. Yes, that sounds. I mean, of course, you should get victory points for killing important leaders on the battlefield. I mean, it was usually a huge blow for the enemy forces to lose a leader at a crucial time of an engagement, and that could basically rout the whole force if they saw their leader got killed and stuff. So that is a very good optional rule. Route limiting. It's an interesting. I actually have. We'll have a look at the. So here this is the game manual, and they have the rules explains. So the route limiting, it's actually not on by default. It says it's you can actually pause the video here, or I can read some of it. So it has to do with secondary routing, basically. So if you have it ticked on, select route limiting to reduce the amount of secondary routing that occurs. So if it's ticked, it will the limitations of the routing will be limited. If it's not, I guess it will be normal. I guess so. It says that the default routing rules require that units adjacent to a unit that has failed its morale check must also take a morale check. There are restrictions such as routing skirmishers cannot cause non-skirmishers to rout. Yeah, so that's good. This is applied recursively if those units also fail their check. While this can result in the rout of a large number of units, given normal probabilities, it is self-limiting. That is, it stops after a certain number of iterations based on the situation. When route limiting is in effect, units in adjacent hexes undergo morale check receive a progressively larger modifier to their default morale. This modifier starts at 1 and is increased by 1 for each iteration based on the failed morale check. So for example, if Unit A fails the morale check, Unit B in an adjacent hex undergoes a morale check with the +1 added. Yeah, so it's good that it's off, actually, because I mean, if it would probably cause panic if people start running from the field of battle. But I guess it's if you have it on, you will have a more of a coercive fight. Basically, you won't be having to rally units and stuff and move around more. I guess. I mean, but it's kind of a strange rule. I think it would be sort of an automatic thing, but I guess people have been complaining about it and they put it in there because some people just don't like it. I guess. I don't know. Isolation rules is actually selected, so it's to cause isolated units to have their strength divided by 2 when defending in a melee. Sounds good. I mean, also isolated leaders receive no benefit from their commanders during command checks. When an isolated artillery unit fires, it may become low in ammo. So this is a good rule, I think. Optional fire results. So these are actually default now. That is when they take 2, and you will get sort of an average of 2 results instead of it peaking either way. I'm not sure about that one. I mean, sometimes you would get lucky shots and kill a lot of people. I mean, but I think maybe to reduce the amount of casualties, and I guess it's good. Melee terrain modifiers, well, that is good. I mean, it's probably self-explanatory there, but you will have a terrain bonus. I think that's correct. Column pass-through fire. So this is a kind of a good rule that they have now. It is to have artillery pass through fire effects applied to infantry in column and block formations as well as infantry in line. So yeah, I think that's good. That the fire would penetrate different if it was sort of massed units in an area. Target density modifier. So to have the fire values affected by total number. Yeah, this is good, I think, as well. The more people there are in there, and more people are going to get hurt. I think that's good. No retreat overruns. This is a kind of a tricky one. Select no retreat overruns to prevent the defenders of a melee from retreating into hexes containing only enemy skirmishers. Not really understanding that rule fully. So select no retreat overruns to prevent the defenders of a melee from retreating into hexes containing only enemy skirmishers. I don't really understand it, but it's not ticked, so I guess retreat overruns are possible. Movement threat disorder. That's actually a default in this one. And that's an interesting one because it can cause units that are moving to be subject to a similar disorder check due to threat as when units attempt to change formation. Depending on the strength of the facing defending units and the morale of the moving units, this may cause disorder or rout the enemy units. I think that's a really good. Rule actually, because it will, especially if you're moving around like really low quality units, and they would maybe get above a crest, and they would see a couple of guns facing them with lots of infantry. They would probably get pretty scared and disordered and not really want to advance and stuff. So I think it's. But I mean, the more hardline, the more badass they are. They're not going to give a shit. But I mean, less troops would definitely be disordered when facing it like an overwhelming threat, or maybe just big ass cavalry forming up in front of them about to charge them. They probably get scared. So out of defense fire is going to be on because we don't have the manual. That means that the units will fire because since they don't have a fire phase, a defensive fire phase. It will be automatic. I think that's good. Optional melee resolution. I guess that's the same as to have a separate melee phase added to each. Yeah, this one here. So there is going to be separate melee. I think that's really good. Night movement fatigue. I think that's self-explanatory. I think that's they will gain more fatigue and stuff. Yeah. Weak zone of control is default now, so that is select the weak zone of control to allow units to move 1 hex through enemy zone of control per turn, and to allow units to retreat 1 hex to enemy zone. Okay, so that's actually pretty good. That means you usually, otherwise you will, as soon as you get in a zone of control, all your movement points disappear. But you do get 1 extra hex to move, which is kind of good, I think. Partial retreats is to allow some units to retreat from a hex after being defeated in melee, even when there is not enough room for all of the units to retreat. Okay, yeah, sounds good, I think. Line movement restriction is not default. Why not? To cause the infantry units that move in a line formation to have the chance of becoming disordered. The details of this are explained in user. I think that's actually a pretty good rule. I mean, that would symbolize a lot of realism. I mean, not every unit were moving like, you know, I mean, even the perfect soldier can make mistakes. So I think that's a pretty good rule. It's not on default, but it would probably be something I might use in PBM. I'm not sure. Flank morale modifier. So to have the morale of a non-skirmish unit with a non-skirmish friendly unit on both flanks increased by 1 for the purpose of route disorder. Very good. I think that's a good rule there. So optional melee results would be melee values are based on the average of 2. So okay. Guess that's good. Multiple infantry melees sounds bad. Select to allow your infantry units to melee attack units that have already been meleeed. Nah, that's blitz tactics, man. I think that's good that they don't have that. That's probably one of the strangest rules they have here. I mean, either you go in or you don't. I mean, so I don't know. I think that's a pretty bad one there. I wouldn't use it. No opportunity fire against skirmishers. That sounds good. They probably wouldn't waste a lot of shots to prevent opportunity fire from being targeted against hexes that only continue. Yeah, they probably wouldn't waste maybe a fully loaded line on a couple of skirmishers if they knew there are bigger unit formations moving around that's going to get close. They probably save that volley for the masses instead of those small units. I think that sounds correct. So no melee eliminations. Okay. Select that to prevent defenders in a melee that have no valid retreat text from being... I think that should be on, because people would probably fight to the death. I mean, okay, they might actually surrender, but then you would need to take care of those surrendered soldiers as well. I don't think they would just kill them all there in the middle of the battlefield. Maybe sometimes, but I think they would fight on, some of them at least. Yeah, so that's kind of a strange one, but it's not in default, so we'll leave it on. No detached melee. Yeah, that's a really good rule there. That means that you need to have command control basically to issue commands, and units wouldn't act so much on their own. Maybe in some actual cases, but overall they probably wouldn't. So no detached melee. Okay, I think it's good. Mixed organization penalty. Sounds good. You have a -1 morale modifier applied to units in the same hex with the units from different brigades. Yeah, they wouldn't be coercive, so I think that's a good one. That's a good rule. Column movement restriction is actually not default. This is one of the newer rules. So to have infantry in column formation become disordered when entering or obstructed terrain, forest, towns, or marshes. Yeah. So they won't be that now at all. But it's optional. Some people want this. Strict line of sight is also a new rule. To have select strict line. Otherwise, you can have. So this has also been something from the community. If it's not on, you can see what kind of visibility is all over the map, and I think that's kind of cheating, because they wouldn't know that in those days. You wouldn't know really what you would see from certain parts of the battlefield if you don't have eyes on the ground, basically. So it's good. All right, so those are the optional rules. Let's go. So we're going to be Kingdom of Sweden. We're going to have that on. We have rules. All right, so it's fired up there. Kingdom of Sweden, turn 1 of 17. All right, here we are. So look at the big picture here. So the battle, right? Okay. So this was kind of a tricky fight. What time? We started at 4:30. All right. So what happened was, I think there was, as you can see, a big defense of Russian forces here, with lots of guns and infantry and stuff. And yeah, up here there was another defense. This was the gap that Charles XII identified as a weakness in the defense, and the Russians were not defending this because they thought nobody would be stupid enough to go through here. But the Swedes were apparently stupid enough to do that. And it looks like, as it said from the description there, it looks like the guns are already in place here in this particular scenario. And so they will start bombarding here to cause a distraction of these units, thinking that maybe the main assault's going to be coming through here. And so we're going to be sneaking through here. Now what do we got? We've got Colonel C.M. Poss, Kungliga Gardet, and Livgardet, Kungliga Gardet. All right, so these are some badass forces, man. A+, 750 men. Wow. So they could probably be going to extended line and stuff. Right, we have Livgardet 2, Livgardet 3, Grenadiers Battalion, a Grenadier Battalion, Royal Guard, Kungliga Gardet. Okay. Dala-regementet. So these are actually areas in Sweden. So Dala-regementet. What else? Yeah, I'll click them. Östgöta-regementet. So yeah, this is also a part in Sweden there. Dala-regementet. Yeah, we got those. Östgöta. Upplandsregementet. Okay. Yeah. from the north. Westmanland Regiment. Here is the man of the hour, man. Rating A, leadership A. King Charles XII. Royal Army. All right, what do we got here? Okay, so we have, yeah, so that's all the infantry there. All right, so we do have Reinhold. He's probably in charge of the cavalry. Yep, he is. And Jen Kreutz. Okay, and Liv Drabant. These guys are badasses, man. Cavalry sword, melee +4, A+. Oh, man, yeah. Pretty badasses there. What do we got? Livregiment till Hest. Okay. So these are badass horsemen. We have a couple of regiments there. What do we got here? Livregiment. Livdragoonregimentet. These are dragoons, I guess. They don't have any firearms, though. Okay. What else? Nyland Tavastehus. These are Finnish. I think these are horsemen from Finland. Yeah. And the Smålands cavalry. Cavalry from Småland. Yeah, all right. These guys, pretty badasses as well. I like it. Östgöta cavalry. Same as the infantry. All right, but they have cavalry from Östgöta as well. Östgöta. Okay, we got some, what do we got? Supplies, we got guns. Oh, yeah, so the artillery here, what do we got? 3 to 4 pounders. All right, just sort of range 7, pretty small guns. Same here. Yep. All right, and then we have actually a 6-pounder gun here. 2 guns, range 9. All right, and we have Bunov, Major General Bunov. He's a brigade commander there. All right, of the artillery. Cool. So that's okay. So what about victory conditions? We need what do we need here? We need 300 points to win the battle. We got 0 points at the moment. All right. We got objectives. What do we got? What's this one worth? 50 points. 50. 100. 100. Let's zoom out a bit here. All right. So there's a couple of objectives that need to be captured. So the fight mainly took part in this area. So what happened was, now there aren't what they had. The infantry was actually carrying these like wooden stuff to throw out as they were advancing over watery areas and marshes for the cavalry to easily sort of traverse this area and join the fight. But I think it was actually raining at the time. And that wood became very heavy to carry, so they all ditched it and moved across anyway. And the cavalry had to sort of make their way across somehow. That's why the cavalry actually joined the fight later on. First was the infantry that came across, and then the cavalry actually joined the fight later on. And the cavalry was actually used to rout the Russians as they were running away as well. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to get the infantry cross and start sort of blocking the Russians from moving and attack, of course, and try to wipe out these positions, and maybe they will start running away. And what happened was the commander of the northern Russian group actually heard the fighting and stuff, and he sent reinforcements, but they were slow, man, and the Swedes had already come across, and they moved down and tried to cross this water here, and they were bogged down. And by the time actually they arrived here and started to wade through this river, the Swedes have already beaten off the Russians here, and they were like on running away. And then I think this guy up here, this commander, I can't remember his name now, but he decided, oh well, I guess we're just going to attack this position and destroy the Swedish luggage train, or this, I mean our supplies. But when he was doing that, he actually understood that the battle was lost, and he was scared that if he was going to cross and take out the supplies, the Swedes would turn about and attack him in the rear and destroy him. So he actually retreated from the battle there. There was a couple of, I'm not sure where they are on this field of battle, but there was a couple of Russian cavalry brigades in the area as well, but they was sort of poor coordination and stuff. They never really joined the battle, so it was a blunder from the Russian side. Otherwise, if they would have joined the battle, it probably would have been pretty tough for the Swedes to pull this one off. But there was a lot of Russian forces in the area. I think something was stationed around Vasilka. Maybe here. I mean, there was some forces. Obviously, I don't know where they are now because we got fog of war on. But there were some forces that could have counterattacked and helped out in the fight. And I mean, look at the Swedes. We're pretty hopelessly outnumbered here. It's a pretty small force. So it was probably thanks to the poor morale of the Russian soldiers that they pulled this one off. But all right, enough blabbering. Let's resume the fight here, right? So let's at least do a couple of turns before ending the video here. All right, so I hope that's enough of the information there. Yeah, and one more thing, King Charles XII actually joined the fight as well. So he's going to be going across here and duking it out. All right, so let's see. Let's use our artillery first and start that diversion. Right, we got 3 pounders. What kind of defenses they have here? There's actually no defense in the hex. They're surrounded by embankments, but they don't have any trenches or anything. No. So okay, I guess we should fire on the infantry. Let's start weakening the. Maybe we can actually knock out guns. Let's fire on the infantry. Wow, that was really loud in my headphones there. Let's engage let's fire on the infantry. Let's see how weak they are if they start running away after taking some casualties. These are the ones that can reach. Let's fire in this position again. Okay. Wow. All right. Causing some damage. All right. Let's move across. So, what do we got? Leave guarded. Yeah, these badasses. Okay, they're moving across. All right, let's go. So where should we go? We should go. This looks like the least marsh, and then we're going to be attacking this direction here. So let's move out. Okay. Okay, so that maximum movement there. Could be dangerous to get that close. Let's try it. Yeah, another feature they've added in the Great Northern War is if you just right click here, right click here, whoop, they go automatically like that. So it's pretty cool. All right, so they're moving out. Let's get this man going here with the Dala-regementet. I guess they could move through here. Get through there maybe. Get them moving in there. It's going to take some time to get across here. This would be a good place to cross, I guess. Let's get them up there. Oh, I didn't select them, so all right. Yeah, and King Charles, man, he's going. Let's get him with the northern group, maybe. He's moving in the front there. All right, we got these supplies. I guess they could stay there. So the cavalry, I mean, going across here would be pretty suicide, facing all these guns. And we can't move across this river here. It says creek, but it's I think it's too wide to actually cross. You can only cross streams. Creeks will be impossible. So I think so. We're going to be doing what the cavalry did. We're going to be advancing slowly behind the infantry here. Whoa! So he actually went around there. Okay, they got disordered as well. Okay, I'm not going to right-click like that, I think, anymore. Let's get these supplies closer to cannons there. All right, let's see. Okay, so there's actually a stone wall there. There's a wall here. That will disrupt my cavalry. Maybe they should go through here. I think that will disrupt me there. And this, yeah, this will, it says line and cavalry disorder, these orchards here. I guess they could go through here up. Could be very dangerous. Anywhere they go, they will get disordered actually. Even through the town here. Too many buildings and stuff. Yes, yeah, so I think this will disorder us, this stone wall. Definitely. And they will get disordered here as well. So let's just move across here. We'll get disordered, but we'll probably regain pretty fast. So get that Finnish cavalry going as well. We'll cross this wall. I want to get them all across actually, so they all rally at the same time. And what's this? Yeah, these are the Smålands cavalry. All right. I don't think all of them. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. So they will rally fast because they're badasses. So that they would rally pretty fast. All right, so we're on the move, man. I think that's all we got. Yeah, he's staying there, the commander. All right, and I think everything that's fired can fire. We've done all artillery and stuff. Yeah, so we're going to end it. It's Holowczyn, Battle of Holowczyn. Yes, we're going to call it Hollow. Yeah, like that. All right. Kingdoms with a melee phase. All right, so we're not going to do any melees. We're just going to end the turn. And we're going to see what the Northern Alliance will do. Probably barrages as well with the cannons. Is he moving troops there or what? What's going on? Is he moving troops out? Oh, he's firing. Boom. Going for my those 6-pounders there. Fatigue. Oh, we lost a gun. Yikes. It's bad. Alright, he's got his melee phase. There would be no melee. 20 units undisordered out of 20 units checked. Wow. Okay. Alright, they're all got recovered easily. Alright, what do we got? So it looks like he moved his infantry out. Interesting. He's just got guns there. Let's lay down, fire. Let's see if we can knock out some guns. Fatigue. Only fatigue. Let's hit them as well again. Looks like the Russian artillery is a bit better than us. And we're only causing fatigue. He's knocking out guns and stuff. Alright, let's get back to the infantry advance. Alright, so let's get the Kungliga Gardet. Leave Gardet, the Royal Guard. let's get them. So we need to advance like this and just sort of attack like mad men in there. Let's get them out. Okay, we could spot units. Alright, so they got some ways there. It's gonna be a slow move, man. We don't want to go through here, that's dangerous. We want to get sort of moving across like that. And these guys are a bit behind, like that. Alright, so that looks good. They're on the march, going down there. And yeah, so we don't want to attack that. We need to get through here, basically. Let's get King Charles and Upplandsregementet moving this direction. What's this? General Sparre. Okay, he cannot move across there. Let's get him down there. Maybe they can. Yep. And these guys can get up there. That's good. And they will move in there. They're gonna have to wait there. And they will have to wait there, I guess. Okay, so they're moving forward. The cavalry going. Okay, that cavalry is still disordered, actually. Let's get these guys. So that would probably be the best way to cross, I would imagine. They'll get some slight disorder there, crossing that stream, but let's see if it works. Yeah, they got disordered, but they can cross it. So that is Leefregimentet. Yeah, these guys. So I want to actually cross more units at the same time, so they rally at the same time, because these guys will not. They will get disordered the next turn. Yeah, they can't do that. Leefdragoonregimentet. The dragoons. Yeah, these guys are part of them. Cost a lot of movement points to get them through the swamp. Let's get them there. They can ride along the road if they cross there. The dragoon regiment will come behind, I guess. Wasn't that a pretty good? That was a pretty good crossing point as well. Yeah, so they can't. Stacking limitations. Actually, let's check out the stacking here. Yes, and the stacking parameter. Max stacking is 1,000 men. Max stacking cavalry stacking is 500. Yeah. Okay. So maximum cavalry there. Let's actually get this up. Get him going with his troopers there. There's actually no leader there. These are the Finnish. It's gonna get slow. Get them across. And Småland and Östgöta. Okay, Småland. Let's get them. So some of them are okay, some of them are actually still disordered here. That's because they're in a hex that constantly keeps them disordered. Alright, so they're moving. We got the guns. I mean, we got the things there. The supplies. All artillery's been fired. There's going to be no musket in range. No. I think everything is moved. Let's end it. We got a melee face. We're not going to do anything. So let's look at what the Ruskies do. He's probably going to keep firing at my guns. He actually took a gun out. Okay, he's backing it up. Okay, that gun's... What? Alright. That gun was limbered and then unlimbered. He's going for it. He's going to try and take out that last gun there. Probably will. Lots of fatigue in that gun. And he's got a melee face. 5 units undisordered out of 5 units checked. Good. Alright, so I think everything is back. Cool. Right, I'm going to end it here so it doesn't become too long. But hope you guys are going to be enjoying this, man. For you guys who haven't bought this game yet or thinking about it, it would be a good opportunity for you to see some gameplay of it. I prefer to play the game like this, but this is the 3D as well, as I showcased in my introductionary. Since I never played like this, it's very hard for me to, get into it. But I do like the improved graphics here, man. It looks pretty cool, though. But this is my preferred view. So, yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. We are what are we at? Turn 3 now. We're gonna start forming up our line here and go down and see how we're probably gonna take quite a lot. The Swedes actually did take quite a few casualties in this fight, even though they made the Russians retreat. It wasn't an overwhelming victory. It was sort of more of a tactical victory. The Swedes lost a lot of men here, and even the Russians lost a lot of men as well. But they had to retreat. But so it's going to be costly here once we form up, because he's got a lot of artillery. They're going to be firing at me like nuts. So I'm going to be taking heavy casualties as I try to attack here. We're going to have to do a really fast attack, really blitz forward. And so this row is looking good. Just hope he doesn't send any reinforcements here. It's going to be tough. We might have to go with cavalry swinging down here, attacking these things in the rear, while the infantry sort of slowly mops up these forces. We'll see how it goes. So I want to thank you for watching, man. I will see you in the next part. Hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next part. Have a good one.